Welcome to the Prusa XL unboxing series, Chapter 2. In this video, we will assemble the CoreXY frame on the base of the 3D printer. To start, a T10 Allen handle, a 3mm Allen key, and a 2.5mm Allen key. You will also need the CoreXY assembly, 8 M4x12 screws, and 2 M3x10 screws. Begin by preparing the CoreXY assembly. Insert an M3 nut into the front slot of the base extrusion on the CoreXY assembly. Turn the extrusion slightly to make space and slide the nut inside until it sits securely. Repeat this process to insert the second M3 nut into the next slot. Install the third M3 nut the same way. After inserting 3 M3 nuts, measure the distance from the end of the extrusion to the last nut. It should be exactly 23 centimeters. Use a scale to check and adjust the nuts if needed. Now move to the side of the CoreXY assembly. Insert another M3 nut into the side extrusion slot. Tilt or turn the extrusion slightly if needed to slide the nut in easily. Continue by adding the next M3 nut beside it. Insert a total of 3 nuts on this side as well. Once the nuts are in place, check that the distance from the end of the side extrusion to the last nut is also 23 centimeters. Use the scale to confirm the measurement and adjust if necessary. After all the M3 nuts are positioned correctly, set the CoreXY assembly aside for now. Next, place the base frame on your workspace with the backside facing you. Place the CoreXY assembly onto the base frame. Align it carefully so the mounting slots match the frame's corners and extrusions. Position the CoreXY assembly close to the base frame's front and back bars. Use the 3mm Allen key to tighten it slightly. Take an M4x12 screw and insert it through the aligned hole into the nut. Repeat this process for each corner of the frame, inserting an M4x12 screw into each aligned hole. You will install 2 screws on each side, for a total of 8 screws securing the CoreXY assembly to the base. Tighten each screw just enough to hold the frame in place firmly, but do not over-tighten yet. After all screws are in place and the frame sits evenly on the base, double-check the alignment once more. When everything is lined up, gently tighten each screw a bit more to secure the CoreXY assembly to the base frame. Once the CoreXY assembly is secured, carefully turn the entire 3D printer frame to adjust its orientation for the next steps. Check that the CoreXY frame is mounted correctly on top of the base and backplate assembly. Verify that all screws are tight and the frame is stable.
A few moments later.
Next, gather the earthing connectors, 10 M3 nuts, and M3x10 screws. Place an M3 nut inside the stainless steel frame rod. Align the nut with the hole in the rod. Insert an M3x10 screw through the hole and into the nut. Use the 2.5mm Allen key to tighten the screw gently. If the screw does not fit smoothly, adjust the alignment of the nut using another Allen key to help position it correctly. After securing the first screw, repeat the same steps for the second M3x10 screw. Align the next M3 nut with the second hole in the stainless steel frame plate. Insert the screw and tighten it with the 2.5mm Allen key. Make small adjustments if the screw does not slide in easily. After both M3x10 screws are installed and tightened, continue with the next set of earthing connectors. Gather the next 3 parts: the earthing connectors, the M3 nuts, and the M3/8 screws. Insert an M3 nut into the base extrusion. Align it carefully so the earthing connector can be fixed on top. Place the earthing connector over the M3 nut. Insert an M3/8 screw through the connector and tighten it with the T10 tool. Do not over-tighten. The connector should stay slightly adjustable for final positioning. Repeat this process for the second earthing connector. Insert the next M3 nut into the extrusion . Position the earthing connector on top and secure it with an M3/8 screw using the T10 tool. For the third connector, insert another M3 nut into the side of the extrusion. Position the connector over the nut and fix it with an M3/8 screw. Tighten it gently, leaving it slightly loose for adjustments later. Next, take the cover clip. Because it is symmetrical, insert it fully into the extrusion rod. Position it anywhere along the extrusion, then rotate it 90 degrees to lock it in place. Repeat the same steps for the left side of the frame. Insert the M3 nut into the extrusion slot. Place the earthing connector and fix it with an M3/8 screw using the T10 tool. Attach the screw to the Allen tool first for easier installation. Make sure all connectors remain slightly loose for final positioning. Next, prepare the rear panel for installation. To connect the internal wiring, remove the screws on the back cover using the T10 tool. Take off the rear cover carefully and set it aside. Align the rear panel with the CoreXY assembly and the base frame. Make sure all earthing connectors and the rear covers align with the mounting holes on the panel. Attach the rear panel by inserting M3x8 screws through the aligned holes. Use the T10 tool to tighten each screw gently, securing the panel in place. Before fully tightening the screws, double-check that the panel sits flush and that all holes line up with the internal earthing connectors and wiring slots.
Hey, Hey, listen to me carefully. This is going to be the last bolt that you are going to put into 3D printer. So make sure that you do it carefully, and you need to have very special position for this. Then the final thing which you have to do is very good.
Once the rear panel is secured, turn the printer so the backside faces you. Gather all the wires that need to be connected to the main circuit board. Start with the PE wire and connect it to the designated terminal on the main board. Next, connect the XY motor cables to the corresponding slots. Attach the Z-axis rotary motor wire to its terminal. Connect the LED cable 1 wire to the port labeled LED cable 1 on the board. After connecting all cables, organize them neatly using zip ties. Insert the first zip tie through the groove provided next to the circuit board and tighten it gently to hold the cables in place. Repeat with a second zip tie in the next slot, securing the bundle neatly. Check that all wires are properly arranged and that no cables are loose or pinched. Trim any excess length from the zip ties using a cutter. Repeat the same cable management steps on the right side of the frame. Insert the zip tie, tighten it, and trim the excess. Next, reinstall the small 3D printed corner part you removed earlier. Position it in place and fasten it with the T10 tool. After organizing the cables and securing them with zip ties, it's time to install the rear wire cover. Align the wire cover plate with the circuit board. Press it gently into place until it fits snugly over the wires. Take the 4 screws you removed earlier and reinstall them to secure the wire cover. Start with the exterior screws, then fasten the interior screws. Use the T10 tool to tighten each one until the cover is firmly attached. Next, fix the 3D printed corner part to the wire cover. Gather all wires on top and leave the filament sensor in the center. Insert the corner piece into the cover and carefully pull the filament sensor through the groove provided. Once positioned, press the corner piece until it clicks into place. Secure the corner part with screws. Fasten 1 screw at the top and 1 at the bottom using the T10 tool. Repeat the same steps for the left side. Gather the wires, guide the filament sensor through the groove, insert the corner piece, press until it clicks, and fasten it with screws at the top and bottom. Do not over-tighten. Make sure each screw sits flush against the surface. Now prepare the back panel. Align the 2 3D printed parts with the grooves on the rear panel. Once aligned, press them into place. These parts will hold the panel securely to the printer's frame. Take the rear panel and align it on the surface of the printer's frame. Press it gently to fit it in place, then secure it with the screws using the T10 tool. Tighten each screw one by one until the panel is firmly attached. Next, install the extrusion covers to protect the cables inside the frame. Start with the Z-axis extrusion covers. Take the 2 orange covers and place each one on the Z-axis extrusions. Align them at the bottom and press gently until they snap into place. Move to the front extrusion. Take the 430mm cover and align it with the front slot. Start from one corner, press it in place, and slide it along the extrusion until it sits firmly. Next, cover the side extrusions. Use the 243mm covers for both sides. Align each cover with the slot at the corner, press it in gently, and secure it along the length of the extrusion. Repeat on the other side. Finally, install the rear extrusion covers using the 95mm covers. Check the measurement to make sure you have the right pieces. Position each cover in the center of the rear extrusion slot. Press them in gently, starting from the corner, and fit them securely. Repeat the same process for the front extrusion slots if needed. Use the 405mm cover for the front slot. Align it at one end, press it in place, and secure it fully along the extrusion. When all covers are installed, do a final check to make sure each cover sits evenly and securely in the slots. In the end, confirm that all covers, wires, panels, and screws are properly installed. Double-check that nothing is loose and that the assembly is neat and complete.